Hola amigos, this is Raga and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy IV Advance. In the last episode, we really didn't do much of anything actually. And in today's episode, we're going to be continuing through the lunar subterrane and fighting an enemy right here. Well, this may be a good idea to tell you guys that I actually did do a little bit of inventory switching around. Mainly the Stardust Rod that I got earlier for Rydia, I've now equipped it on her because the Fire Whip overall has more attack power, but and to be honest, it doesn't really work that well for a party member that's supposed to be using magic attacks in the first place. So, in order to not completely defeat the purpose of magic, I've decided to equip the Stardust Rod instead, which raises intelligence. So, I think you're going to be seeing a little bit more damage being done by black magic attacks. If not, then this is all for naught. But anyway, Cecil's curse-mification has been cleared up. So, I think if we go into this, we actually have another weapon, which means another boss fight. This is not the boss fight. That was a little bit weird. Anyway, make sure your party is all ready for this and make sure that you have some powerful attacks at your disposal. And the reason you want those is the coveter of this holy lance shall perish. This is Plague, also known as Plague Horror in the DS version. And he's, kind of interesting, I guess. Actually, I wonder if I can... No, I can't. I can't do that trick with Edge yet. Okay, there is actually a trick to fighting this guy. This guy will continuously cast Doom and Haste on your party. However, there is a way to protect yourself from this, and actually... Now, does Rydia not have this move? Huh, weird. There's actually a method to, getting yourself out of this, and actually, no, it's one of, Rydia's moves, actually. It's cast Stop right here and now. And the reasoning for this is because the boss will cast Doom, and will also cast Haste. Now, Haste will increase the ATB gauge, and Doom will actually do something kinda reliant on the ATB gauge. However, Haste doesn't actually speed up Doom's countdown. Which means that while he's sitting here doing nothing, you can actually cast Stop on one of your party members to keep him alive. Now that we have an item, we can bring Cecil back and continue on our merry little adventure by bringing back our party members one by one. There's also a way to trick this guy into actually resetting the Doom countdown as well. Yeah, see, like that. He cast Doom on Cecil as well, which brought his countdown back up. So, let's actually use... No, full life's not really gonna do it much for us anyway. Bring Rydia back so that she can cast some spells. And Bahamut should be a good enough spell. And likewise, the Doom counter is going to work once again, which means we can just continuously bring back our party members. This guy, by the way, is also weak to any attack that a flying enemy would normally be weak to, so you can basically throw a Fuma Shuriken at him and he's gonna take, like, huge amounts of damage. But he's kind of a cakewalk, really. Oh, that was not the right move. Shoot. He basically, I can't even describe this guy. Just what I'm trying to say is he tries to, you know, be all strategic and stuff, but the game's engine doesn't really do much for me. He casts haste, and the game thinks that haste will cause the ATB, or the Doom countdown to go faster, but it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to say. That was actually pretty easy. And we got the Holy Lance, which means that we can finally switch weapons on Kane. What weapon does he have? He has Gungnir. Gungnir? Is that like Norse or something? Actually, isn't that doesn't one of the characters of Toho Project actually use that weapon? Oh, I think it was from Emilia Scarlet, but I'm not sure. Somebody's gonna correct me on that, I know, but... So we used up a few more Phoenix Downs than we probably should have. Oh well. Actually, it might have been a better opportunity to cast Stop on Rosa, and just have her magically restore the party. Whatever. We're not actually going to be fighting the next boss in that next room for a while. Because I remember it being really tough as a kid, so... Really, another Dino Zombie. No, well, don't have too much of a problem with it, I guess. Dino Zombie does fall relatively quickly, especially if you can use his weakness, and now Kane has this feller's weakness, which is certainly something. Yeah, that actually did quite a bit of damage. It's quite nice. Good. And we're actually getting more into the higher levels of MP, where we're able to actually cast these spells more reliably, more efficiently and such. So Firaga here, not actually going to be too big of a loss. And it dealt pretty alright damage, so hey. I sure think I've also found out what the... Somewhere around here, actually there's an invisible wall, but maybe it's not on this floor. Somewhere around here. There's an... Oh, this guy. I don't think I actually covered him, because the part I did cover was based on, or I basically sped that part up, so... This guy is the Little Murderer. He is a murderer. He's also small. Now, contrary to what you may think, you don't want to cast lightning on this guy. I know he's weak to it, but... If you value your life, if you don't want to get murdered in a very minuscule fashion, you don't want to cast lightning on this guy. He'll take out lots of damage for it, but he'll also start attacking, and I believe these fellows actually had relatively high attack power. I'm not saying that, you know, they're just like, oh, they have like super duper high attack power and stuff, they will kill you in one hit. No, I don't think this dungeon will actually, you know, throw in too many one-hit kills, but... Well, then again, we can't be so sure, can we? These guys aren't necessarily difficult, they really just feel more tedious than anything. Now, one of the things I actually did want to talk about was something involving this game, and the Game Boy Advance port is known for a lot of bugs, apparently. Apparently this game is kind of buggy, and I haven't actually really noticed it recently. Among the bugs they had was characters occasionally getting 2 turns in a row, which, as a kid playing the version of it, I thought that was just a gameplay feature that occasionally kicked in. Little did I know that I was a glitch. But we got monsters over here. But I haven't actually encountered too many of these supposed bugs, actually, which makes me wonder, am I playing a fixed version of the game? Now, I know that the version I'm playing is kind of a sound-patched version, and from what I've heard, the European release of this game actually does fix a lot of the bugs in the game. But I'm not sure if this is based on the European release of the game. It asked me for the language, so I think it asked me for the language. Can't remember. That was back in part 1, so I can't remember it because I have the attention span of a goldfish. Or the attention span of a YouTube commenter. But I don't know. Maybe I've just been playing the definitive Game Boy Advance port of Final Fantasy IV all along, and I fooled you all into thinking that I was playing a buggy rubbish mess, when, oh. Okay. That was a bit weird. They kinda... What did that... Why? Huh? Did I... No, they're petrified, but... Okay, so what I had to do was basically unpetrify everyone, which means going back to the cottage. What happened in... after getting that battle was... got the Minervas Plate item, which... I'm not really equipping to anyone right now because it lowers magic using stats, and... I think the wizards can afford being a little bit squishy in this. Not sure. I mean, that's kind of what mages and wizards and stuff are basically in RPGs anyway, so I mean, giving a little bit of reinforcement of that probably can't hurt too much. Oop, casting... This guy's about as dumb as Plague Horror was, wow. And again, the reason I'm not actually going to the next boss that's somewhere around here is mainly because I feel like I'm not high enough level for it, because the boss is weak to Holy and Fire, I believe, but I remember it being really, really difficult as a kid, so maybe that was just the fact that I play through RPGs and managed to get under level and have to grind for days. I can count how many times that happened in Final Fantasy III, and it happened in this LP as well. Oh, no, this guy's actually a little bit smarter with Doom this time. But that only goes so far. And does he know where he is? I doubt it. Oh, well, he's going to that town, I guess. There we go, that was just Match A Championship Edition. But that was fun. Let's do it again. What's in this? Cottage. Sweet. Maybe I should find something to equip Iridia so that she doesn't, like, take so much damage from a single fire spell. Like, that battle I just, like, ran away from and cut out and stuff. Fire Rod did, like, 500 damage to her, and everyone else is, like, taking, well, Edge is gonna take a lot, isn't he? Yeah, 708, so Iridia's alright. Actually, Iridia's probably doing just fine. Just fine and dandy. Oh, that was meant to accidentally. Cursors on Final Fantasy games, I don't know, maybe it is this version still being a little bit weird and fuckadous and stuff. Cursors in Final Fantasy games tend to act up for me a lot, I don't know. Maybe it's just this game though, I really don't. Yeah, whatever. Let's just stab some witches, some sage. We really suck at using Osmose, I mean really. I may sound like I'm turning into Mike Mozart here, but I mean really. Oh man, does anybody actually remember who Mike Mozart is? Back like a long time ago, I used to watch a lot of Mike Mozart's reviews of kids' toys and stuff, and he's kind of like me, but older with a beard. Basically the whole man-child thing and stuff, but I mean, you know, he reviews some toys that got recalled for fairly obvious reasons, like being a little bit inappropriate and such. And I don't know, I always found his reviews entertaining, but then he just suddenly started going to, you know, rants about Viacom, and I'm just like, well, this isn't really, like, entertaining to watch or anything to listen to, I guess. I don't know, I don't think his rants were necessarily, like, funny rants. Like, Adam Buckley does really funny rants. He's like, Can't believe I'm actually going to be saying this. He's funny when he's mad. Mainly because he's like always mad and he's basically always funny, so I mean... I don't know, some of you guys probably won't like him though. Oh, there's a monsters right there. There's a monsters, yes. Monsters. Real ones. Haven't said that in a couple of episodes. I don't know where I just like started to say that. I mean, just like, well, I realized there was like a show on Nickelodeon back in the 90s called Real Monsters, or oh well, I probably didn't say it excited enough, like Real Monsters. And something like that, and it just like, I think I remember it from as a kid actually. It had like the one guy and he had his eyeballs, but he didn't have any eye sockets, so he just held his eyeballs and stuff, and it was one of those things by the same guys that did like Rugrats and the Wild Thornberries, and so it looked kind of weird. Actually, I remember the studio that did that actually, I think they did the McDonald's cartoons as well. Back in like the early 2000s, there were a bunch of cartoons based on like Ronald McDonald and his friends, like the Chicken McNuggets and his dog Sunday and such. I always found those to be really entertaining as a kid, like they were awesome. I don't know, I like Ronald McDonald. He's a lovable guy. He's a little bit creepy, but that's kind of just the fear of clowns getting to you, really. He's a lovable enough guy, I think. Whatever, let's actually, we could equip the Genji gloves, but that won't lower his magic defense. You know what? No. Let's have that lightning resistance on, sure, why not? We go in here. Obtained white robe. Neat. Well, black belt. White robe! This is going to boost her spirit to ridiculous. Yes! Holy crap, that healing, which means let's actually cast Cura. Yeah, that actually healed everyone a pretty decent portion, I think. Well, okay, it healed everyone that was at full health a pretty decent portion, but hey! Blue Dragon! That's a game by Square Enix. And it's a battle we're gonna skip, like this. Okay, that last battle took a while, but I think during that battle I actually picked up on something. Cecil and Kain actually don't do that much damage to blue dragons. And I think the reason why is because both of their weapons at this point are holy element, and because elements don't necessarily work that well on blue dragons, I think it might actually like be the game trying to absorb the hits from it, but not being able to. Oh god, not none of you again. I don't want to fight this guy. Maybe we can run away and demonstrate at the same time. But what I picked up on was their attacks don't do that much damage, and I think it's because they're elemental attacks. And because elements don't work on them, they're doing less damage. Because I noticed that Rosa's melee attacks were basically dealing the same amount of damage that Cecil and Kain's were, so I don't know. Monsters! Red dragons! This is bloody fantastic. Well, I don't think they have that dumb thermal rays attack in this game. I don't know, they might. Well, let's cast Flood on these fellers, just to make sure. God, these guys are really, really difficult to beat in the DS version. Well, okay, everything is difficult to kill in the DS version, because everything has been buffed to the point where it's, like, stupid. Let's cast Kiraja. And let's cast Leviathan. Leviathan should deal a fuck ton of damage. Really, I want to know whose idea it was to make the DS version so much harder, because it just... It's not that I don't like a difficult game, but it throws me off so much. Just... It didn't feel like Final Fantasy IV. And the whole I think the augment system is also a little bit weird because, I mean, you have these characters, these party members, in the DS, or in the Game Boy Advance version with all these defined abilities, but the DS version, you can kind of give multiple abilities to multiple different party members, so and here we go, back to that, you know, Final Fantasy VI argument and stuff. It makes everything feel like samey. I really don't know. Also, I hate how they took, like, all the good secret dungeons out of the DS version, too. I really would have loved to see, like, Lunar Ruins and Zeramus EG and... Oh, I just spawned some in my shit. Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh well. This is a fucking old game, you guys probably know what that is anyway. Damn, I really wanna... Well, okay. Crystal gloves, black gloves, and everyone has proper armor. Okay. Man, so many blue dragons that I just don't want to fight. Yeah, whatever. I think this video's actually gone on for long enough. I've basically continued my rant about Final Fantasy games from the previous episode, but... well, there's a secret path here. No, but that leads us back over there. So what's over here? This is basement 5, but... Wait, where am I... Fuck. Monsters! Oh god! Not one of the... Well, okay, these guys are pretty easy at this point, actually, probably. Ooh! You've got mail. Crystal mail, actually. And I think this might actually... You know what? I've got to end the video off somewhere, so I think I'm gonna end the video off here. And I'll see you guys in the next part, maybe?